Hurry, hurry, step this way. 1 dime, a 10th part of $1. We've got the show if you've got the dime. You get the whole show now if you hurry, hurry, hurry.
Alright, now I usually take a punch of some sort and line it up on my 3 lines that I drew on the center line as well as I can and give it a tap. That'll give me a point to where my drill bit can start without walking left or right or up or down. Alright, so here's what you should end up with. 3 holes, hopefully as close to the center line as possible. Alright, so now I need to knock these connectors out of the center here. And for that I use just a regular Dremel tool with a tile cutting bit. Well, you can see here I didn't get crazy and get all, waller this width out any. That's critical. You want to make sure that you run a straight line down. The next thing I do is I relieve all the way around this on the back side of the guard only. Doing this kind of serves 2 purposes. One is it's less material that will have to file out of the way. And the other is it serves as a little bit extra security for the epoxy to get in, sort of a glue lock. Make sure you don't go too deep with the relief because you don't want to weaken the guard joint. So now we come to the most critical part in the entire process of making a hidden tank, and that is filing out the guard slot. Literally just 32nd of an inch gouge or mistake in this process ruins the entire guards. You'll have to start over. So this is a point where you want to be your most meticulous. To do this, I use it's just a standard single cut file. I've ground it down to where it'll fit in the guard slot. Alright, the main thing with this is to test it often. But whatever you do, resist the urge to take off large amounts of material, because in a blink of an eye, in one file stroke, you can take off too much material. So when I get the guard on and about to this point, I take this fancy tool here, piece of galvanized pipe with them has a slot cut in the end. I've seen different versions of this tool. I got this idea from a video that I saw where a guy was using it. All it's made to do is to slide over the tang, and it allows you to tap the tang, or tap the guard down on the tang and seat it. Here's the guard fit. Still a line of micarta there that I need to take out. You can see there's no gaps. That's what you're wanting. Alright, to clean up that micarta, the little threads that were sticking out there, to clean that up I just took a stiff bristled toothbrush and just burnished it. That's just a fancy word for rubbed it across there. I've gone ahead and cut the guard down to close to the size that I want to have it on the finished knife. What I do next, and then on all the pieces after this that I stack on, I draw from the bottom of my hole, which is a little bit bigger than the actual tang. I draw a straight, or as straight as I can, line from that out to the edge on the top and the bottom. Once I have those 2 lines drawn out, I go ahead and transfer them to the side. Now that'll help me whenever I'm contouring this handle. It'll help me to keep from filing or sanding too deep and then grinding into my hole and my holes along the tang and my other material. It'll keep me from making a major mistake that I'll have to take the rest of the handle off and redo it. I've done that on more than one occasion. So this little trick right here saves me a lot of work. So I've gone ahead and cut my block in half. The next step is to flat each end, and I'll show you how I do that. Alright, if you don't have a flat sander, this is a good alternative. What I do is just take a piece of sandpaper and lay it on a flat surface. In this case it's a glass tabletop. To make sure I have everything flat, the entire surface, I go ahead and mark it with a black permanent marker. And that way when all that's gone, I know that there's no high or low spots. After I do that, I lay it on a known flat surface and try to look through here and see if I see any light. I look at it from this angle, try to give you an idea, move it around, and if you see any light peer through the two surfaces, then you need to keep sanding. It's the same centering process as before that we used on the guard. You use on this every other piece that you'll put on. Alright, it's time to drill your slot. Alright, for something like this block that we're drilling, I recommend you get a drill press vise like this or something similar. Alright, so there's what you should end up with, something similar to that. Now you can see it didn't go all the way through. My press doesn't have enough travel, or I don't have a long enough bit. Alright, here's the block. Here's my drill bit chucked up, and you can see it's going to have plenty of extra length to go through the block. Now you just take your handy dandy Dremel with the tile cutter in it and cut the webs out. I just ream it out the rest of the way with a chainsaw file. There it is, on and all fitted up. Same thing, you want to look through here to see if you have any light showing through. Alright, you want to do the same thing. Mark your slot on the top. Give yourself about a 1/16 of an inch or so of room for the lines to the side. Do it on the other end too. And take a straight edge, connect your two lines. Can't see that other line, it's there though. That'll give you an idea of where your slot is so you don't sand into it. And you want to make sure and make those lines on the same side of on every piece. Alright, just repeat the same process with the rest of your handle material until you've got it all stacked up.